It's just distracting. That's why. Just for me.
Derek White carrying him again.
Oh my gosh. Are you looking at other games right now? We're going to talk about other games.
I was just checking.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge.
Let's go.
Let's go. No fucking music tonight, but it was still a win. It was still a good game.
A win is a win.
A win's a win. It still feels good. There's good things to talk about, even if it wasn't the most vibey. Nuggets pick up the win in Memphis, 108-104. They send the Memphis Grizzlies to 0-2.
Yes.
Grizzlies now reeling. And more importantly, the bench continues to impress. Even Julian Strawther got in the game. No shortage of things to talk about. To help me out with it, I've got Brendan Vogt.
In my short time covering this team, I think 100% of the weirdest games have been played at Memphis.
Totally.
They all seem to happen at Memphis, and this was another one.
It really is true. This was a classic Memphis game. Over there, Harrison wins.
This was sleepwalking in Memphis.
This was nice. Well done.
Sleepwalking in Memphis.
This was well done. And then, of course, superstar Dev.
A win is a win.
A win's a win. You were winning all over the place tonight.
It was not my best night. It was not my best night.
Look, it's early in the year. It's early in the year. By the end of the year, you always...
Oh, it's all about
always on top.
calibration. You just don't go into the
No.
gym and just start running. You got to stretch. You
stretch.
got to get some open shots close to the rim and then step your way back. So
Dev was missing some open shots today. The open run. Nuggets do get the win. A lot of interesting things happen. They come up clutch after not being clutch. I mean, they kind of blew the game and then came up clutch. But let's get to the fast breakdown here.
Can you make it quick?
I'll try to make it quick. Here's what's funny. My first note, messy start.
Messy finish.
Yeah,
That's a good note.
middle.
I'd say it's a good note.
I always love when my first note is like, man, this game's sloppy. And
Yeah.
it's like, all right, buckle up, baby. 8 possessions. Do you guys remember the play? Actually, do you remember the sequence early in this game when nobody scored and there was no dead ball for like 10 possessions?
Are you talking
It was
about
like
the first 6 minutes of the game?
6 straight turnovers.
It was like turnover,
The
miss,
refs took
brick.
6 minutes off.
They did.
They
That was-
just stopped doing it.
I think at one point, Michael Malone didn't know what was going on, so he just decided to yell at Ed Malloy.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know what's happening. I'm going to just yell at the ref.
The Nuggets did get a rhythm, though. So after the first 5-6 minutes of this game, timeout, TV timeout, whatever, you come back on the floor, and the Nuggets started rolling after that.
Yeah.
Murray and the bench once again played really well, especially in their first stint. Once again, Peyton hit a 3. Then he got that double block to end the quarter. You guys remember that one? Where
Swatson.
There's like 8 seconds on the clock. He ISOs. Who was it? Derrick Rose he guarded in ISO? Dev, you would know. Was it Derrick Rose?
Absolutely
Gets
not.
gets 2 blocks in a row, and the Nuggets were up 25-18. You're like, all right, ugliness out the way. Julian Strawther checks into the game.
Hello.
He played actual rotation minutes. Just
Michael
one.
Malone
Did he
keeping
get a
his
shot up?
promise.
He got like 3. He didn't make it. I don't think he
Oh,
made
the
it.
floater.
Yeah, maybe it was only 2. P-Wat hit another 3. So he's got all these blocks. He's got these 3s. Then he got a steal and a coast-to-coast finish. The first half was an all-timer for the Peyton Watson reel at the NBA level. He was really going off. Murray started cooking, but the Nuggets were not getting any stops. They were playing very aggressive, but they kept putting the Grizzlies on the line. I think that's part of why Denver lost the rhythm. They had a good middle part of the first half, completely lost it because the game was just like so slow. Free throw, free throw, free throw. It's the third quarter, more the same. Nuggets starters couldn't find a rhythm. MPJ did have some nice baskets, but neither team really got anything going. It was just an ugly slog of a third quarter. Fourth quarter, bench was flying around, but couldn't score. Man, all my notes are nobody could score. Flying around, but nobody could score.
No, it was a low-scoring game.
You know who was really flying? I mean, like a lot of guys were flying around, but you know who was really flying around tonight? Zeke Naji.
The
Zeke,
freak?
Zeke the freak Naji.
Tenacious Z.
Tenacious Zeke was freaky tonight.
Man, I love this game.
How many
Zeke
rebounds did he
tonight.
have tonight? Just give me real quick.
It had
How
to
many?
be.
How many was it?
How hard
It
he was
felt-
working.
I'm going to say right now, it feels like he had 20 rebounds.
But
He
how
had to
many did he have?
He had to have had somewhere around 15 rebounds. How many did he have?
At least 12.
He had 0 official rebounds.
This is no way he had 0.
He had 0.
There's no way.
He really did.
I'm telling you, we're going to talk about this later, but Zeke drew like 10 fouls on
If
rebounds.
you go back through the film, he was probably responsible for maybe 10
Right.
rebounds.
Well said.
Easily,
Well said.
easily. He was flying around, and I'm telling
But
you.
I'm dead serious. He had 0.
He had 0
Oh, we
rebounds.
know.
He's just gonna have a great year, and the metrics are going to hate.
Right.
So true.
They're gonna be like, this guy's terrible.
But we're
He
gonna,
was
we're gonna be
awesome.
like, the eye test. The eye test.
eye
I
test.
I'm
swear.
telling you, it's the real test. He was awesome tonight.
He was.
I have a note in here. How is Jokic playing this bad?
Yeah, that was crazy.
This might be his worst game in 4 years.
That was a rough one, really. That was brutal.
It was a brutally weird decision-making game. He just kept turning it over and making bad decisions.
7 to 9 assist to turnover ratio.
Unbelievable. That's so weird. 2-point game with 6 minutes to go, and then the Grizzlies take their lead on a Derrick Rose floater. Dev was beside himself. He could barely contain his excitement. He was over the moon.
I just can't believe that he's playing at this level at this age.
I can't take it.
Can you guys believe it?
I can't. To cut his mic, Kill. I got to get
Modern
through this.
medicine is incredible.
So you want to know, how is Denver going to respond? They played like crap. There's no rhythm to this game. It's clutch time. What do you do when you bring in Denver
Who do you
starting
gonna call?
five?
The
Do what
two-man
you
game.
always do. Jokic drains the three. Murray drains the three. They take the lead. Memphis did fight back. Give them credit. They did not die in this game. They did not roll over. They forced Jamal Murray to make a masterful final pick and roll read. Gets into the paint. Just completely dust. Was it Marcus Smart he dusted?
Probably.
Gets to the rim. Drops it off for Aaron Gordon for the easy dunk. This is what I love about these Nugs. Clutch time, nothing going well. You're pressured like, all right, how's Denver going to respond? You need a bucket. Oh, how about a wide open dunk they generate against a good defense?
After 2 wide open threes for their best players.
Yeah, just masterclass in the clutch. All right, that's it. They get the win. Start us off. Where do I want to go? Let's go to Dev. Superstar Dev.
So, looking at this Grizzlies team, you would think that they're missing a whole bunch of guys. It's really just their main guy. But they played extremely well. So, like, I do think that it was expected for the Nuggets to not play at their same level. So, I do want to tip
Trap
my
game
hat.
a little bit, a little trap
I
game.
do want to tip my hat to Memphis because they really did play hard. And I think that's why the fact that the bench unit for Denver playing so well was like really the deciding factor in this game. If they did not match energy or even play, I think, above standards, this would have been a game that Denver could have probably dropped just off of the way that they played. So hat tip to Memphis, hat tip to the bench unit.
Yeah, very impressive of Memphis, man. They battled. They have a great coach. And you're right. You look at their lineup, some of these lineups, and you're not impressed. You're like, Denver should walk through it, but they did not.
Yeah. Memphis did battle. Absolutely. I do think it was a little bit of a predictable letdown performance from the Nuggets. Going on the road, coming off of an emotional ring night at home, I feel like part of you expected them to be a little lethargic, a little sloppy, like Nikola Jokic was, just coming off everything that went into ring night Tuesday at Ball Arena. But Memphis did battle, and that's the reason why it was a close game.
But wouldn't you say, like, we all watched game one against the Lakers, and the Nuggets looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
And don't you think now, given the context of this game, now some shots didn't go, Jokic had a bad night, but clearly their energy level was picked up on ring night. Like, clearly
Well,
there was.
absolutely,
I mean, we
man.
kind of assumed, but the drop off between that and tonight was pretty steep.
Absolutely. And I'll take it a step further. I think now we can say Nikola Jokic might take the Anthony Davis matchup a little personal. Just a little personal,
Oh, I wrote that in
man.
the grades. I think we can say it. That's the most personal it's
I
ever
think
looked
he
to me.
might get up for that matchup, and I think we can say that now after this second game of the regular season
Are you trying to
on
say
the
that he
road
wasn't?
against Xavier Tillman.
Are you trying to say he wasn't up for this game win? It sure looked
Maybe
like
he
it.
wasn't as up for this
And
game.
we're going to talk
didn't
about
look
whether or
like
not he was or was not up for it. But I
Yeah.
think you're right, man. The difference just in Yoke
Yeah.
from the other night. Not
He
let
set
alone,
the tone that night. He obviously did not tonight.
well, he kind of did. Like the tone
Well,
was,
sure.
the tone was set. It was a bad tone.
Sure.
What's your big takeaway?
Oh man, so it's another player shout out. It's the same one as last game, but for different reasons. Contavious Defendwell Pope was really struggled in this game for 3 quarters, but in the clutch, I think he had 3 steals and a deflection. In the final 5 minutes of this game, KCP played better defense than any player for either team played at any point.
Yeah.
And it's why Denver won this game, to be honest. They did hit those threes. Jokic and Murray got it going, but Memphis was still pushing. Denver survived because every time Memphis got an important stop, Caldwell Pope stole it on the other end or disrupted something. He plays so hard for a vet, for a guy that's been in the league as long as he has. He never takes a possession off, and despite an unserious first 3 quarters, I think he basically won this game with how hard he played in the final 5 minutes.
He really did step up. And he knocked down those shots. It's so surprising he was 3 of 10 because I kind of remember all 3 of them. They were big.
Yeah, but he was like 0 for 7 prior.
Yeah.
2 of them were threes. He had 5 steals, to your point, Vogt.
Man, 5 steals. The
And I
KCP
really
steal
think 3
bet
of
right
them
now
were-
is great.
Yeah.
And they're right. They were in the clutch and they were real play. They weren't, the ball fumbled
No.
away and he grabbed it. They
He
were
read
like,
a pass, stole it. I mean, just clutch defense, man.
my big takeaway really is going to be the bench, but I'm going to save that for a little bit later because it's more the positive.
Sure.
This one's still positive. This was a horrendous game from Nikola Jokic. I thought with his decision making and shot making and everything and defense. This was a bad game overall for the starters, who we believe to be the best starting 5. It was an ugly game. Both teams had terrible offensive ratings, meaning both defenses were playing well, and yet Denver still won. And this is why it's so encouraging to me. You win pretty on opening night. You win pretty at home. You win ugly tonight. Both of them are wins, and both of them against Western Conference teams with different circumstances. So in a weird way, I'm encouraged by this one. I'm encouraged by the fact that Denver found a way to pull it out. And I don't know if I would have been as encouraged if they would have just slowly bled out and then the clock expired. They lost the lead.
Right.
And had to find a way to make this a win in the last 4 minutes. And they did, and they did it in the way that they always do, which is like, all right, buckle up, here we go, let's execute. Executed perfectly and close it out. That's a championship team.
Yeah, that is a championship team. And, like, to your point, I think that it was even better that it was Jokic that had not a great game. Because you could say, hey, that bench unit gave you energy. They gave you life. This is a game about lessons and a win. I think that's the best time when you can learn, like, hey, how are we going to fight back? Another team came out hard. They played extremely well together, and they came after you, and you still found a way to finish. And then also, Jokic steps up when it truly does matter, and the bench unit stepped up. The other starters around him, when it came down to it, they finished them out, and that's just what you want from that. So there was a lot to learn from a game like this.
If it's a 1 or 2 possession game with 5 minutes left, I'm taking Denver every time.
Of
And they
course.
will lose some of those games, but I'm taking them every time.
Can I take it up a notch?
Sure.
Nuggets go down a point in the clutch, and I was sitting here thinking, like, I'm not nervous, but I'm also not necessarily excited. My thought was, honestly, has some of the excitement gone away because I just know they're going to win?
Right.
Honestly, this is the most smug I've ever felt about the Nuggets. Is in that moment I was kind of like, oh man, I was hoping they're going to win a little bit easier. Now they're going to have to win this way.
Yeah, you remember being frustrated and just like, oh, they're going to lose. Like, just kind of anticipating, like, oh, it's the halftime adjustments. Things are going to go bad. The other team came back into it and just really kind of like accepting defeat. Now it's like, okay, like they're not playing well, but they're still going to find a way. Like, we are now on that other side of just expecting them to bounce back and fight, and they did that in this game.
Yeah. It's just the pedigree that this team has. I mean, we've watched the Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray show in clutch time too many times over the years to think anything other than that they're going to pull this off somehow if they just get it close late in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's the most comforting thing about this team.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And tonight, another sort of example of Jamal Murray being leveled up as a playmaker, because I just thought his playmaking, again, especially in the clutch, was so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yoke made his shot and he did some stuff, but I feel like it was Murray doing most of the stuff down the clutch here, and it wasn't, again, just spectacular shooting. It was just great playmaking, great table setting. I mean, I continue to be, even though Murray's points tonight, 22 points, 5 assists, just 1 rebound, by the way, 2 games in a row with just now 3 rebounds over 2 games. But nonetheless,
Well, Michael Porter had 13 of them.
Yeah,
so
part of
he-
them is the
He
big
kind of
guys
was
there.
being a little selfish with his there.
is that what it was? But his playmaking,
Kidding.
I mean, honestly, doesn't it look like his playmaking continues to be just leveled
Oh,
up?
absolutely. I mean, it's still at the same level it was in the finals, which was really where I saw it take the biggest leap. It was trending up all season, and then the finals, I felt like it took a gigantic leap from where it was even in the first couple rounds of the playoffs, and that's carried over to this season. We saw it in the preseason. That was a big storyline, maybe one of the headlines from the starting unit throughout the preseason. Jamal Murray's playmaking, table setting, his vision, his just basketball IQ is still at that level. Through 2 games, it's been at that same level.
Let's take this let's go to the yoke part here. We're almost going to go through the starter. I think the bench is more interesting tonight than the starters were, but there are some interesting starters things. Jokic and Aaron Gordon, I thought, were a little Aaron Gordon was a little quiet tonight. Jokic was sloppy. Dev, we joked about it. We put it on the headline for our pregame show. Is this just a tough matchup for Denver's front court? Tillman and Jaren Jackson?
I think yes.
Really?
But also, I think that it's more so of like how the refs let them play in this game as well. Like they kind of let Jokic get beat the hell up, and Jaren Jackson and Tillman are going to play physical with you. They're going to hit you the entire time, and refs were kind of letting it fly. And early in the game, I felt like Jokic kind of started going back and forth with the refs.
Yeah.
And that became part of the game.
It was like 5 minutes into the game, you got the.
Yeah, he did that a whole bunch. He was back to that the entire time.
Yeah.
But I really think that set the tone early, and then plus the sloppiness. And I think that they were just kind of baiting him into some turnovers that he is not used to. So it just kind of threw him off. But there is something to like Tillman and Jaren Jackson, just the way that they play and having two guys that are, very strong, very athletic, that can kind of hang with them, don't back down from that matchup, that I think there is something more to it. Not to the extent that I think we talked about in the pregame, which we look good at now. But I really do think that there is something to that.
Yeah, they're strong. They're physical inside. They play a pretty traditional front court. Tillman and Jackson, two big guys. Jaren Jackson had 3 blocks. Tillman had 2. But this was a physical game, and that tone was set early on. And I also just think this is the type of game that just happens a few times during the regular season.
Really?
Regular season NBA basketball, you're just going to get a couple games like this.
I think Dev has hit the nail on the head, though. I honestly think the number one contributing factor to a bad Jokic game at this point is confusing who the opponent is, the referees with the actual opponent. And I think he did that again tonight, to Dev's point. So I'm with him on that. There were a couple of fast breaks where he just never even got back because he was so pissed at the no call. And I mean, look, they won. It's not. Am I worried about Jokic? Not at all.
You're not?
No.
You're not worried about Jokic?
I'm not worried about Jokic.
He's going to be all right, you think?
But I do think he did the thing that Dev said tonight for sure.
I think that's definitely true. All right, let's take our first break. On the other side, though, the bench to me is the story. We're going to get a little bit more into some of the starting stuff. Michael Porter I want to talk about. But I want to go to the bench in segment 2 because I'm going to tell you guys, I am confident in this bench unit. I'm confident in it now, but where it's headed, I'm very confident.
Guys, make sure to check out Soul Savvy, new partner here at DNVR. Don't miss out on all the biggest sneaker drops. Download the Soul Savvy Drops app. We've also partnered with Soul Savvy on something really special. You don't want to miss out on this. That's coming later. But for now, the Drops by Soul Savvy app makes it easy to keep up with all the latest news, releases, raffles, and sales in the sneaker world. It's your one-stop shop for everything that has to do with sneakers. They've got drop alerts, instant notifications, never miss a release again, free raffle management. You can keep track of all the raffles that happen in sneakers with their raffle tracker. They also have a release calendar on their app. An accurate release calendar keeps you updated on all the releases that are coming. Tons of drop alerts coming up this Saturday, tomorrow. Air Jordan 12 Cherry drops on online. The Drops app by Soul Savvy will notify you when and where it's dropping. So make sure to sign up for the Soul Savvy app by clicking the links in our description below, or visit soulsavvy.com/DNVR, soulsavvy.com/DNVR. Download the Drops by Soul Savvy app today.
I love eating bread. That's a fun fact about me. But I'm a bit of a tiny king. I don't hold the weight super well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bread can add up.
That's why there's no bread in the world you can eat.
You'd think, right?
That's what I think.
But what about like a low carb option to fit your lifestyle or dietary constraints? Yeah, that's what Hero bread is. This bread is soft, fluffy, delicious,
appropriately
high fiber.
named Hero. That's a Hero move right there.
High fiber and ultra low net carbs. Yeah, it's fewer calories than the leading national bread with 5 to 10 grams of protein per serving. What a treat. And right now, Hero Bread is offering the DNVR family 10% off their first order. Just go to hero.com and use our code DNVR to save on Hero Bread today. I'm sorry, hero.co. That's hero.co.
How'd they get that
today.
URL? What a great URL.
Is that Colorado? Yeah, I thought that was a typo, but they're ahead of the game.
Hero.co?
They're so local.
That's like a top 5 URL. All right, we're back here, segment 2. Real quick before we get into it, we are 1 week away from our first party bus and takeover. You want to sign up for that, go to thednvr.com. You can click on the events tab. You'll see it in there. It's a lot of fun. A party bus. You come here, you hang out, we go to the game, we watch the Nuggets win, you come back to the bar, and we hang out for a Saturday night afterwards.
Maybe you get on the show?
A lot of times people will have people on the show afterwards, give us your hot take. It's a very, very special event. You're not going to want to miss it. Get out of your house. Come out. Hang out. Be social. All right. The Denver Nuggets bench. Zeke Naji looked great.
Yep.
Peyton Watson had one of, if not the best game of his career at the NBA level. He was phenomenal.
I'd say the best.
Reggie Jackson?
Oh, man.
Reggie Jackson, 2 games
assists,
in a row?
0 turnovers for the big government,
Reggie
Mr.
Jackson was incredible. Christian Brown still coming into it. He looked a little rusty at times tonight. But that bench lineup, guys, it's not just that they had a good game, but they did. It's that I kind of see a consistent potential from them.
Yeah.
I think there's an identity. They play a lot of defense. They fly around. They have a lot of length. I think that there is something brewing there that gives me a lot of confidence in what they can be.
The big thing, we talked about this in the round table, which did we like what we saw from the bench in game 1? And you can carry this over to game 2. You just want to see the vision. You just want to go, okay, what does it look like when these guys look good together? Why do these guys look good together? I think we've seen it often early through 2 games. And tonight it was more apparent. But their switchability absolutely throws a second unit out of their offense. They don't know exactly what they want to do. These guys are getting stops. Zeke Naji is competing. If Peyton's going to play like that, it's going to look great. And then I really like the way Jamal has played with that unit so far. So if he can be aggressive and sort of, obviously Reggie was great tonight, but if Jamal can assume that responsibility and a lot of the attention and those other guys are competing, they're going to at least stay afloat, if not win their minutes. And so seeing the blueprint's encouraging, Dev.
Vogt has some really good points, but the biggest one is the switchability. They do have an identity, and it's defensively, but also they're even getting things going on offense where anybody could take the shot, or they're just going to just hone in on the defensive end. In this one, they had 37 points off the bench with them. It just doesn't seem like it happens often. Especially in the last game. There wasn't many shots being taken, and if Reggie's knocking down shots, that's your score. Everybody else work hard on the defensive end, and you have that in Braun. You have that in Reggie, Peyton Watson, Zeke Naji, who all have the same mode of you have to work hard, you have to be able to defend multiple positions, and they all can do that. So having that guy off of the bench with Reggie knocking down shots and everybody else just adding what they can, it gives you energy, it gives you flair, it gives you what you're supposed to get off the bench. So, I love what I've seen today. I really do think that this was the best Peyton Watson game. It was the best Reggie Jackson game. Zeke Naji, even though he did not record a rebound, he had a whole bunch of
unbelievable.
Just energy. He really did alter the game with just how active he was the entire time. So there was really promising moments from that bench unit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I see the vision. I see what Calvin Booth envisioned this second unit being like.
This is his bench.
Totally.
All of it. The whole thing.
Yeah. Maybe except Zeke Naji.
I guess you're right. You're right. I mean, he was here.
I mean, he gave him
He
32
just
mil.
re-signed him.
He did give him 32
He
mil.
just extended him. But yeah, you can so easily see the vision, the athleticism, the switchability, the fly-around mentality, the potential rebounding, how this group looks in transition, and then the offense, too. They scored 37 points.
Man, good point, dude.
37 bench points. 16 of those came from Reggie Jackson, and I felt like he was the biggest standout with the bench today. Zeke Naji, I felt like, played great. This was a great game from Zeke Naji. He played tough inside. He played with the physicality that Denver needs from their backup center. Peyton Watson was good. But Reggie Jackson, I felt like, controlled the pace beautifully when he was running point with that second unit. He just controlled the offense well. He got into the lane. He hit shots. He was aggressive. And I just like rooting for Reggie Jackson. I don't know about you guys. Colorado guy, I like rooting for Reggie Jackson.
I'm with it.
He was unbelievable tonight. And this is 2 games in a row now that he's been good. He's been a positive player now 2 games in a row. And look, If you would have told me Reggie Jackson is a positive player 2 games in a row, I'd have been like, oh, so he made some shots. All right, he had some wild ones. I'll tell you, like, it's not bothering me with his shot selection. He's playing in. He had some great passes.
He's playing within the rhythm.
He's playing within
knocking them down. Bro.
Yeah.
He is knocking
He
them
really
down.
is hitting some crazy shots that I'm like, oh yeah, he can do that. Like, I really do think we forget that he has been a scorer in this league.
Right.
And he can do these type of things, but he is getting it done right now. But also, they're playing him alongside Jamal. They're playing him with the starters, with the bench. He's, like, really doing everything as a backup guard right now. And a lot of us are eating crow. I'll be honest with you. I'm one of those people right now.
Oh, I love it. And to Wynn's point, want to be wrong on this one, right?
Yeah.
Want to see. But tonight, to me, was better because, to your point, we know he can hit shots. Man, if Reggie's giving you 6 assists to 0 turnovers, forget about it. Forget about it,
man. I mean, honestly, and they were not just easy assists. They were like, they had some nice, sexy setting the table. We were like, man, that's Nuggets basketball. He looks it. So, the front office obviously saw something. The team obviously saw something in him last year, despite last year not going very well for him in his limited minutes. And this year he's come back and he's got a nice rhythm through 2 games. What I love about the second unit, and Reggie being a part of it, the switchability, yes. Switching requires a couple things. One, can you execute the switch properly? The timing and the communication of it. 2 games, they've been very good at that. But the other part is, can you guard your man now? Because what's going to happen is teams are going to start trying to go one-on-one, and you just have to contain. They can all contain. Every single one of the guys in that second unit can guard one-on-one. Peyton Watson can guard one-on-one. Christian Brown's maybe the best on the team, him or KCP. You talk about Zeke Naji does a great Zeke Naji tonight on Jared Jackson
tonight, man.
On Jared Jackson Jr. tonight.
Where clearly the plan was, this is our mismatch, I'm going at you.
Yeah.
Shut him down. So that's what I love about this lineup is it's all guys, and even Julian Strother, who didn't play a ton of minutes, just 5 minutes, just played that first stint. Wasn't necessarily remarkable, the stint he was in, but same thing. He's got length, and he sat down and guarded. So I look at that, and that to me is the vision is that unit is going to muck up the game for a lot of opposing teams.
Yeah.
I can't believe that Zeke Naji did not get a rebound. And is that like 2 games?
I'm gonna have to go back to the film on this one.
No, we watched it. He's always around.
I gotta double check NBA stats.com.
Do you remember?
I'll bet you this was the best rebounding 0 rebound game in the history of the NBA.
I think you might be right.
No,
guys
it
remember?
has to be there.
I would give him an A for rebounding tonight.
Do you remember like the last year?
Is this first and opening night was second?
The last year of like Von Miller with the Broncos, it was like a lot of almost sacks. Like,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
always at the right spot, and it like helped somebody else get the sack or put them in the right. I feel like that's how it was in this game. Like, if you looked at it and you said the backup center has 0 rebounds in 2 games, the stats really do hate him. Like, it does, because you're like, that's the backup center. You're averaging 1 when
He
he gets
had
another
one last game, right? He had 1.
Yeah, if he
Or
gets
did he
gets
not?
5 in the next game, he's gonna
he
zero.
had
He
zero.
has
He's gonna be-
0 rebounds
That's
through
right.
2 games.
Wynn's 0.5 over under joke from the pregame show aged beautifully.
He's like so close.
I should be saying the lines on that one website.
You would have paid $1 billion at that line. Nobody would have taken the under.
I don't know.
his
They would
ass
just
off.
go off for the last game. But like really, like this was a game where, because it seems like we're just so high on him, but it really, if you go off of effort and what he brought to the unit and the group, that was like a loud 0 rebound game because
It was very loud,
There's like
man.
fouls every time that he's down there. He's like working extremely hard. Like 2 of them, he got fouled on. Like the ball is in his hands, he gets a foul,
Yeah.
and they just don't give him the
Bro,
rebound.
I mean,
It just
I
happens.
wonder if those are categorized as team rebounds. They might be.
They might be.
It's just a foul.
How would you guys grade Zeke Naji tonight?
I thought he was great.
I give him an A.
Yeah, like easily.
That's an easy
Yeah.
A.
The stat is honestly misleading because again, he had rebounds that other guys grabbed because he either tipped it or because he boxed out.
Boxing out Jaron Jackson.
And then
boom,
he
go
had,
with the rebound.
and then he had a bunch where, I mean, honestly, how many times was he fouled tonight? At least 3.
100 maybe.
But it might have
Yeah.
been like 6 or
Yeah.
something like
and
on
3 of them
rebounds.
they didn't call. But also, I love the one-on-one defense that he had with Jaron Jackson. They weren't really doubling him or anything. And it's
Right.
not that he's like a straight scorer or anything like that, but he was their option tonight. He had to get them going. And Zeke Naji was like playing them one-on-one, and he's like focused and just making them work hard. Now, I love that.
Yeah. Any more on Zeke tonight?
Just I think
he was a freak.
good through 2 games, good start.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
start for
great
Zeke.
start to the season for him.
I'm not sure if I can say this was a full breakout game for Peyton Watson. I think it was 3/4 of a breakout game. Almost there. But I'll tell you what, when Peyton Watson's good, he's spectacular. And tonight, the plays were spectacular. 3 block shots and a steal. First of all, 4 stocks is huge. And they were big time, man. He just made so many plays. And then knocking down 2 out of 3 3-pointers, like that to me is the inflection point. I think Peyton Watson can be a very good player without a great 3-point shot. But if he has a 3-point shot, which again, it's going to take some time, but you see how impactful of a player he was. Tonight, I definitely saw the vision with Peyton Watson.
I loved how he answered Malone's call out in practice.
Great point, yeah.
Micah Malone, the other day at practice, yesterday at practice, says, I feel like Peyton Watson came into the year thinking he was a lock for minutes. And I wonder if it lit a fire under him because Peyton Watson played like he was pissed off about that tonight. And he played like he wanted to prove that he's still hungry and he's still fighting and he's going to, like Nikola Jokic told him, do the things that nobody else wants to do, make the hustle plays, really lock in on defense to earn those minutes. I just love the determination and the overall like tenor of his game. Like it felt like he was playing mean. It felt like he was playing angry tonight, and I love that.
Yeah, it just looks like the game is like slowing down for him. It doesn't look like he's just out there just running around or not getting it. Because I felt like it was just too fast for him, too much going on, and he wasn't able to just like pick up with what everyone's putting down. But now it's like, okay, get to your spots, make your impact on defense, provide energy. That block, the one that might have been a goal to, like he's the only one that can do that on the team right now. Like, and he just continues to do it, and he does his own kind of trash talking too. Like he's looking at the bench, talking to the bench and things like that to get himself going after that. Knocks down 2 threes, and we're starting to see like his threes fall. So now he's making his choice to like hit the rim or get to the his spots, and he's finishing. He had a tough finish in transition, and he makes up his mind to score in transition. But I do like that he just kind of seems to like be coming into his own. And everyone else around him is like feeding off of that.
He does try to block every single shot in his vicinity.
I don't mind it necessarily, especially early on.
Yeah, I don't really mind it either. Just the observation.
I think it's part of why
he's trying to jump over the Empire State Building every time.
Yeah, foul trouble could be an issue for him to that point. But for me tonight, it was just how hard he played.
Yeah.
In preseason, we compared him to Braxton Key a lot, thinking, different builds, but we'd love if it looked like that. Just the work rate, the motor. And I felt tonight that was the case. He was flying around. He was playing his ass off. So I really liked what I saw from Peyton tonight. It was far and away. I mean, he had that one game last year. It was Phoenix. Is that right? And,
Phoenix.
Golden State, he had a moment. He blocked Steph.
Yep.
But this was one of those games where you go, okay, you can see what Calvin and Co. are talking about.
Totally.
I totally saw it with him tonight. I'm trying to decide. He has the way of like expanding. You know what I mean? Like
he's a pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
No.
Yeah, pterodactyl might be.
He's like one of those like sponge toys that you put in water and it expands.
And then it expands.
Yeah.
Except for that's slow. I think for him, to me, it's like a spider, a jumping spider or something. Or like an impala, where just like all of a sudden he expands into this
crazy.
like
Kind of
giant.
like he's very bat-like.
Very bad. I think pterodactyl might be a bit. I think you're. We're going pterodactyl.
Like, this is what I do, fellas. This is what I do.
Pterodactyl. He just scrunches into a ball and then expands like crazy. It's incredible to see. Also, by the way, 18 minutes. That's a lot of minutes. 18 is good for what he should not be expecting more than that. That means you earned, in my opinion, that means he earned the highest amount of trust from Michael Malone today.
Oh, this game did a lot in the Micah Malone trust notebook.
Felt like he left the bench out there longer than usual in general.
Yeah, and it was great. Although I looked down here and Yoke had 35 minutes again. KCP 35.
I guess
I think because this has been a trend also with the bench. Great first stint, second stint maybe a little bit more shaky.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep our eye on that. But I'm encouraged by the bench, and I honestly think that it's going to be a good bench by the end of the year. I honestly think that a good bench.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people thought we'd be crazy sitting here saying the bench could be better than it was last year.
Right.
But at this point, I feel like we're all expecting it to be better than it was last year, at least by the end of the season.
Statistically, for sure. I mean, the bench was horrible last year. They always lost their minutes. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, 2 players that have been a little bit underwhelming so far. Michael Porter, first of all, was what actually had some good stuff, but I'm worried about his health.
Yeah,
and then
fair.
the other one is Christian Braun, who is obviously looking a little rusty. I guess the two injured guys look a little injured.
Go figure, huh?
Go figure.
Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Make sure to check out Breck Brew if you don't know where to get it. Check out the Breck Brew beer locator on their website. Just type in your zip code. Shows you exactly where to get Breckenridge Brewery, no matter where you are. We've got tons of beers on tap here at the DNVR Bar. If you're local, it's officially Avalanche Amber
yes,
season.
it is.
It was
Yes,
chilly
it
out
is.
today, so it's officially Avalanche Amber season. We've got that at the bar. We've got the Juice Drop. We got the Broncos Country Pale Ale. It's the beer of the month at the DNVR Bar. Good company, Hard Seltzers too. Check them all out here, corner Colfax and York. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out their beer locator. Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR.
It's important to start saving for college early, and not everyone can get an athletic collegiate scholarship like I did. You know what I mean? Not everyone's built like this, right? But College Invest makes it easy with flexible saving plans. You'll benefit also from a Colorado tax deduction, and savings can be used for trade schools and apprenticeships nationwide. Open your account now at collegeinvest.org, just in case you also go undrafted by the NBA. I thought I had a good combine. Didn't matter.
There you go.
Not in the NBA.
Not in the NBA, man. You did have a good combine. The vertical was the most impressive part.
Thank you.
50 inches. All right. Michael Porter rolled an ankle in preseason very early on. Is it as simple as that? I mean, first of all, tonight, good game from him. Like,
Yeah,
he
that's
grabbed
the thing.
rebounds, 9 points, 13 rebounds, goes 2 of 5 from 3. That's your job. You did it. You were a +4. He did his job tonight. So I don't want to make it sound like I thought he had a bad game.
That's
I
how
just
it
thought he
looks.
looks like he's hurt, and that's what scares me.
I agree with you. He looks really stiff. He looks ginger. But I do think it's the ankle. And I do think while it wasn't maybe a grade 3 ankle sprain like he told us,
Yeah.
maybe what he was trying to say is that it was very bad.
It was
And-
amputated, yeah.
And yeah, gangrene. And Malone really did as well caution us before game one. I mean, one of the first things he said about Mike was, we all expect all the shots to fall, but that ankle is bothering him right now. So I do think it's that simple, but I also acknowledge with Mike, it never feels that simple.
That's all this is.
And dude, it's okay to be concerned. Like that's part of the game with him. But I do think right now it's the ankle.
Yeah, he did not have a good game tonight. He did have 13 rebounds, but I don't know. A lot of those were like fake rebounds.
There was
I
like
feel
2 contested ones, maybe.
He had 7 of those in the first 2 minutes of the game.
The score was 6-4.
And Memphis was just bricking shots.
6-4.
Yeah.
He had 7
He had
rebounds.
7 rebounds.
So, I mean, it's nice that he had 13, but I don't know how legit that was. I gotta think it's the ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he also was grimacing the entire time,
Yeah.
when he's running up, especially on a couple of just trying to go get some blocks. He clearly is not himself right now. I was shocked that he didn't come out after that because he's
Right.
struggling to get up the court. That means that he's telling them no, I'm fine and things like that. So the thing that stood out for me, I was excited to see a pull-up three-pointer from him.
He had that one
He
tonight.
finally
He did
had a
shoot 2 of 5
pull-up
from three.
three-pointer.
Right.
And the last time, I felt like his shot
40%.
looked different. It just kind of hurt him to get it to the rim. This one, he looks more like himself, and he also had a finish inside. So that
Nice
was
finish.
the promising thing for me in this game as he works himself back into himself.
Yeah. So do you guys feel like we're going to see real Mike in the next week, 2 weeks? What are we thinking here?
I almost wish he would take a couple games off.
Yeah.
But they know better than I do, and he knows his body better than anyone, and he's been through a lot. So I do think it'll maybe take another.
If you were to guess, when is the Michael Porter string of good games?
probably another week or 2 away, I think.
Yeah.
Based on what you see, you think that sounds right? This is
mean-
preseason. He just needs
Right.
3-4
Right.
preseason
He didn't
games.
play
He's
it
good.
all in the preseason. Everybody else played 5 games pretty much, or 4 games.
right.
These are his first 2 games. I think you can chalk these up as preseason games. He's not moving like Michael Porter usually moves right now.
I'll say about a week, really, because I think that there was, in his mind, positives in this game. I knocked down a 3, so I'm back, I'm fine. And, in basketball, especially with a shooter, it's all about confidence, and he got to see him fall in. Then also, he got to have 13 rebounds, and he's like, I got those rebounds, and I'm not even 100%. So what does it look like when I, am okay? So I do think that it's
He had that
slowly
assist,
coming
too.
into it. Yeah, he had
That
2
laser.
crazy
Yeah.
passes.
Great pass.
That I was just like, oh, like that's a Michael Porter Jr. pass. Like I do think that there was positives in this game that he was like, I'm not even at my best, so I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, another guy injured in the preseason, Christian Braun. You know, again, the stuff he does that's most important, defending, he does that no matter what. Like, that's the part that doesn't come back. But 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and he did his handle and his finishing and his shooting has just not quite been there, especially his 3-point shooting, although he did get 1 to fall tonight. It was 1 of 4. A little underwhelming, but again, maybe is this simple?
Yeah, he hasn't been good so far. But for me, I definitely think it's some of the same stuff with Porter where he just doesn't look like he's comfortable yet.
Yeah.
He's just like dropping basketballs. He's
Right.
got butterfingers out there. You can tell his handle isn't there. That just says to me that he hasn't played enough to feel comfortable and feel like his normal self.
Does this mean, Dev, though, that the bench is actually better than we think? Because Christian Braun should be the best player on the bench.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah.
And really, like, they're still trying to find out how to play with one another right now. They're still this is not the group that played in the preseason together. They had to bring back Christian Braun. Holiday was playing in the
Right.
They haven't even found their actual grouping, but also it's still so early in the season. Like, what does it look like when they start finding a groove, when they start finding a rhythm and things like that? So I do think that they're going to be better than expected. What happens when their center gets a rebound? You know what I mean? Like when you start winning rebound battles. So they're
what's funny
positive
is
things.
they lost the rebound battle tonight handily. And the Nuggets usually never win when they lose the rebounding battle. They lost it 48-39 tonight.
They lost it in game 1 as well.
Wow.
Are they
Michael Malone is livid
Livid.
right now.
No, no, he's not. He's perfect.
No.
He's perfect. No, because you've won, but you have something to
No, he
point
gets to coach.
You get to coach.
He gets to
Like,
coach. He's like,
He's like,
yeah.
we're winning. We're doing so much right,
but the
not
effort on the
everything.
What do you think
glass.
he's saying? Fellas, we're getting lucky.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
getting lucky.
You bring that kind of rebounding effort into Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Chet Holmgren's gonna
Chet
get
Holmgren's
20
gonna be
boards
all
on your
over
ass.
the board.
I will say, I think even Mike, who has 25 rebounds through 2 games, don't think he's boxing out very well. Like, I think there are different, it's not,
Yeah.
I think there are things they could do, honestly, to be more focused on that
Yeah.
end. And, through 2 games, it's been fine, but they can clean that up.
Here's a take for you guys. I feel bad for Chet Holmgren.
Because he's about to play Nikola Jokic after a bad game.
That's rough, man.
That's a great point.
Yoke's got to bounce back at him.
That's a
He's
great
like,
point.
It's like, you know what? He's got to get focused. He's got to be aggressive now to reset.
They better not do that to that young man. They truly better. He's not built like that. He's not ready for
So
that
you
yet.
think we're going to get an absolute Jokic bounce back next game?
I don't necessarily predict he's going to be like awesome. I just think he'll try to score early to kind of get himself going again.
It's the first time I'm playing against you indoctrination into the NBA.
Ooh, oh, you know what? That's a great one.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Yoke becoming the guy.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Nikola
Yeah.
Jokic. Let me put 35 on you.
Have you met
hi,
DeAndre Ayton?
DeAndre Ayton.
Have you met
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton? Do you
Oh,
know
yeah.
him?
Did you see that perfect tree? He probably,
Yeah.
somebody should get in his ear and be like, hey, you remember how you did that to DeAndre Ayton and like now he's traded
Jokic's
to a
going to be
different
like,
team?
did what?
Right,
He's like,
yeah.
yeah.
He's like, I thought he
What-
played
what
well
did
that
I
night.
do?
He doesn't
What?
even think that like that though. He's gonna be like, they put stick figure on me.
Yeah.
I had to
But-
kill.
What's your name? Chet? That's not a real name.
OKC does guard Jokic like it's game 3 of the finals every time, though. They're one of those teams that they're like,
They're always smart about it. They
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, they're well coached.
They're well
yeah, but they
coached.
also go for it. Like,
Yeah.
I think some teams save that for if you play Denver. And I think OKC's like, no, we're winning tonight.
It does mean Denver will spend Saturday night in Oklahoma City, that's a good place for
Do
them to
they,
be.
do they still stay in that haunted hotel?
Ooh, you're right. The Skirvin.
That's
is what
always
it's
a
called?
fun
The
storyline.
Skirvin?
The
Have you ever
nightlife, the
stayed?
nightlife in OKC though.
You've never stayed at
I've
the
never been
Skirvin?
to a game in OKC. I've never been to
I have.
I've never been to Oklahoma City.
I've been to a game.
I've been there once.
I think I went to a Heat Thunder game there because I was road tripping across the country with my buddy and we stopped for a game there. Yeah. You know
And
what?
you stayed in the haunted hotel?
No, I wish I would have.
Oh.
I did not. You know what though was interesting about going there? Nicest people I've ever met in my life. Parking attendant. It was like, how's it going? How's your day today? Oh my god! And then you walk, you're like, well, that was a friendly person. Crossing guard. Hi there. Look at you guys. I was just like, what's going on here? Every single person there was like shaking my hand.
They had a
walk-
cross guard at Applebee's.
Edgar, you think it's not a
Where was it? Where?
Oklahoma City?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wait, why are you giving
The
me that look?
nicest people.
I'm saying the nicest people. Salt of the earth.
Golden State. I was like,
Oh, no. Of course not the Golden State. Is there something you haven't seen that you want to see in this very next game?
I want to see how the bench looks when Reggie's not scoring. Like, who do
Yeah,
they look
that's a
to
good
to
one.
score? And also, like, just if the intensity stays up on the defensive end. Because right now things are going their way. They're treading water. What about if a team like goes on like a big run on them? I want to see how they bounce back from that. And also, does that mean that the starters just come out there and they just dominate for longer? So I'm not wishing or hoping for that. I just want to see what that looks like.
For me, it's how do they guard probably the best player that they've played against so far in SGA, a guy who always kills the Nuggets. A guy who always kills the Nuggets. KCP did a great job on Desmond Bane tonight. I bet he'll start the game guarding KCP. Aaron Gordon's going to guard him. Christian Brown's going to guard him. So, like, are they able to shut him down enough to, like, neutralize him at all?
Who would you guess is the best guy for that job?
I actually think it's Aaron Gordon.
For SGA?
Yeah.
Remember when it was Vlatko?
I was going to say Vlatko was
Yeah.
the guy. Maybe Zeke gets a shot at him.
Oh, that could
What
work.
can't Zeke do?
Well, stop it.
Rebound?
Stop it. Stop it.
He gets team rebounds.
I can't believe Zeke's playing as good as he is.
played great.
And we're making
Zeke's
fun.
playing
This is
great.
unbelievable.
No, he's
Zeke's
playing
playing
great.
great.
He is playing great.
we think Zeke is playing great. We love it. It's just funny.
How many rebounds does he get tomorrow night on Sunday?
Probably 0.
No way. Come on.
I'll say about one.
You,
He's the backup center.
You know he's like it's gonna be in. He's gonna be. I have to grab as many rebounds as I can. I don't care if I play bad tonight. I have to grab like 8 rebounds.
I actually hope he gets 0 and he has another great game.
Yeah, me too. Be the best bid ever.
The best rebounder
I
that
don't
wasn't.
want that.
Just for peace of mind, a Porter quarter. I think we've seen bench looks good. Everyone else looks good. But I think if you could see Porter look awesome for 10 minutes, it would probably put to bed some of those concerns you had earlier.
Yeah, I did like Strother getting his 5 minutes tonight. I thought that was cool. Just kind of break the seal, I guess. Kind of just go out there and run around for a little bit. Didn't do anything necessarily great or bad, but it's good to kind of get that over. You're over your first minute.
So this is exactly the role I envisioned Strother playing to start the season, as the 10th man playing like 5 to 10 minutes max.
Yep.
And based on what Michael Malone said after the Laker game, I actually think he might have been penciled in for minutes opening night.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we knew what opening night felt like. That felt like a playoff game.
You're right.
I wouldn't be surprised if at the last second he's like, I'm just going with the guys I trust. I'm just going with the guys who were on the team, on the championship winning team last year.
I think you're 100% right. And I think it's a good plan, honestly. It's a good plan to keep giving him these little minutes no matter what. Play well, you got second half minutes.
Yeah.
Don't play neutral or play bad. Those are out, and it's fine.
And then you just grab a guy, pull him aside.
Then you just grab a guy.
You just tell him.
You got to hug him. He's got to let him
We are
know.
depending on you.
Yeah. All right, let's take our final break. On the other side, a little around the association for the first time.
No,
Snap.
he shot 50% tonight.
Oh, this is rough. I don't know who you're talking about. Could be anyone.
I do. Kind Love, an official partner of DNVR. And guys, make sure to pick up the Immaculate Vibes
Do we have any
5
right
joint
now?
pack from Kind Love. Just $25. You can get it for 25% off as well with the code DNVR. It's available in Indica and Sativa at both Kind Love locations. Again, the Immaculate Vibes 5 joint pack, $25. You can also get 25% off your entire purchase at Kind Love with the code DNVR. Visit one of their stores in Cherry Creek or North Denver. Mention DNVR. Get the DNVR discount. 25% off the Immaculate Vibes and all Kind Love flower pre-rolls in their turbo joint line. Visit their website, kindlove.com, but use the code DNVR for online ordering.
Fellas, you know what's shaping up to be a day? Sunday at the DNVR bar. Avs at 11, Nugs at 1:30, Broncos at 2:30. And,
Well,
listen, I know that last part isn't as exciting, but football can still be exciting because of DraftKings Sportsbook. The NFL season, I guess, technically is going strong for some people, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking new customers up with an offer that's even stronger. Bet $5 on any game this week to score $200 instantly in bonus bets, and all existing customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game day this October. Get in on the game day greatness. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use code DNVR. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Gate Lake Charles, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Also, this Saturday at the DNVR Bar, DNVR and Be a Good Person, we made a shirt together.
Yeah, we did.
Shirt, baby.
We got a shirt together, and we're releasing it and having a release party Saturday at 4 p.m. down here at the bar. Buy a shirt and or wear it, get a free drink.
Oh,
Free drink. Just buy your shirt, wear it, you get a free drink.
there you go. That's
Be
a
a
good
good
deal.
person
When
in
is that?
DNVR this Saturday.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, the 28th, 4 p.m. We're also doing a raffle. Donate $10 or a football. Get entered to win a Travis Hunter jersey. The proceeds benefit the Volo Kids Foundation. But yeah, DNVR, Be a Good Person, shirt collab release party. The shirt's awesome too. Well, I think we've already shown it, but you can buy it at the DNVR Bar tomorrow.
Look at us. Be a good person. Perfect. All right.
Dev, which one's a better person? Eric or Harrison or Adam?
Dev, come on.
They're both very, very good people.
Coward.
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
They're
Coward.
both good people.
Yeah. Good call.
All right, let's go around the association.
Thank God.
Around the association.
We should have some. Look, oh, that graphics.
Wow, look
Whoa,
at that.
I thought we was gonna have
I
some
haven't
cool.
seen that graphic in so
I thought we was gonna have some cool
long.
music.
Wow,
That is.
man, around
How
the
long did you guys
piss
work
poor.
at that?
What is-
Yeah.
Gosh, that
Is
sucks.
that a freestyle? You just made that right now?
Yeah, that's a
Who
tough
made
one.
that?
That's Eric's actually. Eric
Some of
Whelan.
his finest.
Everybody
Graphic
keeps on saying,
designer, yeah.
He
What a
keeps
designer.
nothing but fingers.
No one works as hard as I do.
Dev, around the association.
Sorry, Eric.
First up, we had a crazy close game. We had the Thunder versus Cleveland. And in this game, Cleveland lost 108 to 105, and that was with Donovan Mitchell scoring 43 points.
Dang.
A huge Donovan Mitchell game, and they still lost. Have I
sounds
heard
right.
that before?
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Has that happened before?
No, it sounds right.
43 points.
But that's a good win for OKC on the road, though.
15 to 27.
It might be
from the
good.
field.
2-0
He's
clash
shooting.
of the undefeateds coming up on Sunday. By the way, just look at Chet real quick. Can you tell me something about Chet? How'd he do tonight?
Chet, the stick figure, had 16 points, 13 rebounds, 7 blocks. 7 blocks is actually
I
incredible.
thought Evan Mobley was supposed to be
And then-
Defensive Player of the Year.
Whoa.
And then SGA, aforementioned, 34, 11, 4, and 5 steals. That's a ridiculous game.
This team has so many cool dudes, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
Lou Dort had 25 points in this game. Like,
that's
The
lucky.
Thunder are awesome. I
they
can't wait
couldn't
for
have brought
Sunday.
it.
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good one. All right, what else?
Sorry, I'm really shocked about that game.
I can't get over this one.
That's a crazy one.
I know. George Nang, 1 of 6.
Well, who cares?
George and A. 8 seconds left in the Raptors versus Bulls.
Let's come back to it.
91 to 90. That's a close one. That's the only reason I mention it, because it is very close. We'll come right back to that. The Spurs get a win over Houston. It went into overtime. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in that one. They're up 117 to 113.
The battle of F tiers. Battle of F tier teams right there.
Who's going to be the worst F tier team?
Right now, Şengün has 23 points, 14 rebounds. Van Vliet has 21 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. On the other side, of course, we always have to start with Wemby in this game. 19 points, 8 rebounds. He's just a highlight. Like, some of his stuff is just like, what? What is that? I think it's
Damn,
just
nice
'cause of
bounce back game
how
from him.
shot, like how it looks is why it's like just so crazy to me.
I regret to inform people. I'm kind of anti Wemby.
Yeah.
Why?
It's not that I think he's good or bad. He's like, his game is like he's tall, this or that right now. He's going to be good. He'll be all right. But everybody gets so excited about some of these highlights where I'm like, I get it. He's tall.
It's because we haven't seen it at that height.
I
It's
know, but
just
I'm
so
over it already
crazy.
is what I'm saying.
So you're being a hater.
I'm being a hater. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Is I'm being a
Embrace it.
hater.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I didn't like. I'm not old enough, but like when Spud Webb used to do things where people like infatuated with it because he was so small and we just hadn't seen it
That's
at
like
that
small
time.
is different though than tall. It's more like almost like Manute Bol or something, you know. It's like Bol to me, where it's like, okay, all right, he'll be good. Like eventually, Wemby will get there, but we don't have to show every
Yeah.
little highlight.
That game is not over yet. 118, 113, 2 minutes
Adam Marr is
left in that one.
Wemby hater.
I know. I do feel bad. I do feel bad about it though.
Yeah. So since Denver played so early, none of these games are over. So we're just kind of
There you
bouncing
go.
around.
Heat Celtics are over.
Heat Celtics is
bouncing around the
over.
league.
Yeah,
How
you
about
keep
you
going
give
to
us that one? No, I want you
I
to
got
give us
you.
that
I
one.
got you because Lake and Ball, congratulations, 2-0 start. I know Tatum. He did not shoot 50%. Look at that. Look at that.
Did you set a long
There
time?
was enough time left in the game for him to miss some shots. Somehow Tatum was just 9 of 22. He did have 22 points, but you know what, guys?
So did Jokic on a bad game.
But listen, what is Tatum? I've tried to tell people this. He's a role player merchant. Derek White, 28 points. Derek White might be the best player on the Celtics.
I love it. I love that take. That's a good
Dude,
take.
Vogt's gonna slam the Celtics all season long, and they're just gonna be in the finals.
I know.
I mean,
it's
and then
been
the
coming.
Nuggets are going to win in 5. and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that
act
would
like
that
it
would be
was-
even better. Pistons get the win over
love it.
Charlotte. This one is actually like a wonky like box score.
That's F tier
Another-
versus D tier.
So
Yeah.
111
Sorry,
to
Nick.
99. This one is one that Harrison's gonna like. So in this game, there's one guy that had like crazy like plus minus. Alec Burks,
What?
24 points, plus 28 in the
Plus
game.
28?
Plus 28.
That's a Colorado buff.
The next one with them is a plus 10. Like he just was
Best
just
basketball
whipping
player
ass
I've seen at CU.
the entire time that he's out on the
That's
on the court.
wild.
That's
That's
a wild
insane.
one. Gordon Hayward has 19 points, 9 rebounds.
We don't care about any of these
Yeah.
other guys.
Yeah, none of these other
knowing I am very locked into how a Hornets fan is thinking right now because Nick, our social media
Keep
guru,
calling him intern. He's worked here for 3
I
months.
did not call him an intern.
Full-time and
I
paid.
said our social
no, we
media.
should just keep calling him an
guy.
intern, honestly. We
I
should
did
just-
that to Kale for like a year.
I
we did
definitely
that to Kale
do it.
for a long
But
time.
yeah, he was saying that this was a very winnable game for the Hornets, so I know he's down bad right now.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's tough.
How about the
losing
Knicks?
to an F tier team?
The Knicks dev picked up a win over Atlanta. 31 points for Jalen Brunson. He gets back to form, but Trae Young, 4 of 16 from the field. Atlanta's 0-2.
Man, this might be a
Yeah,
Bill might be
Atlanta
due.
sucks.
Bill might be due
Is
on
the
Trae
Trae
Young.
Young stock about to plummet?
I think we
I
might
think-
have to drop them down to D tier.
They might
him
be
him
good,
and
too.
Murray though, like they don't look good together. That was
No,
just a
terrible
bad
fit.
signing.
Terrible.
Altogether.
Terrible.
And they have Sadiq Bey, and it just doesn't make sense that they have those guys over there.
They've had. Don't you feel like they've had the same team for 5 years?
Yes, I do.
What else? Are we done?
That's about it, man.
They still
Yeah.
got Bogdanovich coming off the bench.
Nets 1 up on the Mavericks, 4th quarter. Okay, all right. Jazz up on the Clippers. All right. And then, of course, my Magic up on the Blazers. That should be
Dude,
a
you-
Look,
with the
since we're on that
Magic.
Brooklyn game, this is very awkward, but Cam Thomas is incredible as a scorer.
You love this dude.
He's
love this
insane.
dude.
though.
He is an insane watch. Too.
28 points, 11 to 17 from the and this is a guy that they tried to not play him.
Ben
And he
Simmons flirting
he
with a
goes
triple
crazy.
double.
Triple double watch for Ben Simmons.
10, 9, and 8.
All right, I've got a 5-pepper take.
Oh,
for you
like,
guys.
can you? Oh, we got it. Start the outro music, Kale.
One thing that seems on the table for me is a bit of a stock roll reversal.
Such a bad take.
One
but I'm
goes up,
with it.
one goes down.
I have no idea where he's going.
I'm
with
just saying. At the cost of Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons' redemption season.
Oh yeah.
The Embiid stock goes down, the Simmons stock goes back up. I'm just saying, the book is not closed.
You're saying there is a chance that if you were picking right now, the right pick would actually be Simmons going forward from this point on. It might actually be over the next 5 years. Simmons is the more impactful
Which
player.
one is cooked? The book is still out. That's all, the jury's still out. That's what I'm saying.
A wild take, man, but you know what? It's too fun to ignore. All right, we got super chats.
Brudda Brendan. Shout out to Big Government,
Hell
Reggie
yeah.
Jackson, P-Swat, and Zeke. They played great tonight.
They call him Mr. October this time of year.
That's right. Omar Spitz. Yo, happy season to my DNVR guys. Quick shout out to Kind Love, my family shop.
Hey.
Hey!
And y'all for teaming up. Dude, we got to smoke some Kind Love together, unless you're a child. So maybe hold off on that. So surreal that I initiated that connection and that it worked out. Also, we need P-SWAT with SWAT Team D-Line.
Yeah, how old are you?
Kind Love is the best, man. This is incredible.
Tim Robinson telling a story to my 8-year-old about watching Hanslick at McNichols when I was her age. I bet she's dialed in, bro.
And then he said her. It just threw me off for sure. She's just sitting there
Your
like,
daughter's going places if she can sit through that
if she knows who
conversation.
Bill Hanslick is, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll get us out on this note.
Nuggets
Are
love
we out?
DNVR,
Are we
Nuggets
out?
love DNVR rules.
Oh, I got 2 more.
David East, all I have to say is that I love this show.
I love
Hell
you.
yeah.
We love
David
you too,
East.
David.
How much does he love it? $2.
Yeah, not listen. How much
take
do
it,
you
though. I'll
really
take
love
it.
us, David? AKE, vote the stash is fire. You look like a majestic stallion. This is real.
Stallion.
For the
I
podcast
saw
listeners.
you send this super
Yeah.
tweet earlier
It does
tonight.
say this.
Okay.
You look like a
Yeah.
majestic stallion. Let's go, Nugs. I can't believe it does
He
say
got called
that.
a stallion.
Let's go, Nugs. 2-0 is 1 away from 3-0 and 80 away from 82-0. Let's go.
Hell yeah. I love it. Guys, 2-0. 2-0. And now it sets up a really nice showdown with OKC coming
Let's
into
go.
Sunday.
Let's go.
Everybody enjoy your little wintry Saturday, your snowy Saturday. If you can, if you have 4-wheel drive, make it out to the DNVR bar. We got to put our snow boots on for Sunday, fellas. But we'll be right back here. Can't wait for it. Hit that like button on the way out.
We all city like the mayor.